GM.
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 All the
On
bags.
lovely Friday morning.
Love the new cover.
Yeah, quite a bit. Not gonna lie, I did my homework. I've read all the comments and tweets that Skew sent to me, and it doesn't look good, does it?
Yeah, we can go through them. Actually, I'll pull them up.
Yeah, I think it's a good start to more or less indicate where we currently are.
Yeah, I think like the most comprehensive thread was by Lazy Villager. Well, the Giver. That dude is a Chad. All right. We'll start off with Stoics. Share screen. All right.
Oh, okay. Adding the
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so like basically it's a FOMC or Powell process summary, like Stoic. This is like really good. It's basically to the point, right? So Powell or FOMC are essentially doing nothing. So they're just sitting on their ass on their hands, right? And they're essentially saying, we don't really know what the fuck's gonna happen with tariffs. And I mean, I went through like all the economic data as well from this week. It's like very signal wise really noisy. Like you got some really good data, and then you got some pretty like meh data, which can be kind of the base case for like cuts, which is like, you know, lower price pressure, higher orders, better GDP growth. Like, you know, these are good things. You know, with like growth returns, less price pressure, which means hypothetically like end of year less inflation pressure, because I mean that's good, right? Like, you know, less inflation, less price pressure, more cuts is essentially what an analyst that understands this would then see and understand and know. But broadly, it doesn't look likely we're going to get rate cuts until end of year. So like August and September seems quite likely to not have cuts unless something very big happens. Like I think firstly, and I read a headline earlier today as well that like the Trump admin is adding in like more like last minute changes to the tariffs to try squeeze more out of non-American countries, right? Which kind of makes sense in their interests, but is going to damage trade relations even more, in my opinion. There's going to be a lot of repercussions, which inevitably just escalates the current problem of tariffs and trade talk, which I think the market's kind of getting bored of in terms of carrying all that risk into. That wasn't the trigger for this week's downturn in markets. It was the change in Powell's tone and FOMC, which is essentially less chances of the September rate cut unless something serious happens in the economy where they are forced to do it. And then on top of FOMC, there was this which happened. So essentially some shenanigans, particularly that has correlation to risk, since a lot of like margin broadly, since most firms use margin, and because they have margin, they have cross market collateral typically, and essentially this is correlated to BTC and like NASDAQ. So whenever there's like significant downturn in the Tokyo market or Japanese market, it tends to have a spillover effect in NASDAQ, tech, Bitcoin, right? So that's something to kind of keep a look out for today in terms of Nasdaq performance, as well as like single stocks. So that'd be like big tech. Maybe Nvidia as well. And then for ETH being capped is on the short selling. This has been like a huge theme, I think, for probably like 2 years, around about. Simply because, I'd say about 2 years. So simply because there's been like a constant positive yield, I think, on like quarterly futures or futures in general. And then that was exacerbated more with like better offerings. Like there was one trade around Athena as well, since there's like a lot of like that kind of delta change with the Athena positionings, especially with like Bitcoin and ETH. Whenever there's like a large amount of like collateral against the market, that tends to cap out price. It actually did it like lows and highs, which is kind of funny. Which means you can obviously use like kind of edge. The new edge now is essentially to do with BlackRock and or spot ETFs in general. So obviously the positioning continues to increase like exponentially. This is like pretty good like institutional demand long term for ETH, right? But a lot of these like positions are always hedged, so like they go over to like CME and they will, or even crypto native exchanges in itself, and they will carry shorts and essentially farm the delta as well as the APY. It's a pretty long tweet. I would probably go ahead and actually have a look through the whole thing. As well as like from now, I would say there's quite a high correlation to blackout periods. So that's essentially when there's institutional money that's not buying significant sums into BTC and ETH. And typically around this, you tend to see more institutional shorting because they obviously going to hedge out any kind of drawdown potential on their holdings, right? So they need to cover the books. And this has always been exacerbated by like whatever macro's done too. So we can like literally, I'll use the previous drawdown as a good example. Yeah, so we all remember this. Yeah, so this move, right, from 119 to 50k, right? So it's basically just someone like T-wopping into book. And it was mostly just like a little bit of fear, but mostly toxic flow, right? Someone that holds a ton of Bitcoin had to aggressively hedge, right? And then because of that gives like a lot of other kind of predatory firms a bit of market edge, and they can short into this flow too because they get protected essentially by the spot selling. And if you go to my like previous tweets, you can see I documented it. Wait. Yeah, it would have been that. Yeah, so we essentially just sold off aggressively into this and then just like bounced and recovered. And also the same one here. So it's like consistently the same pattern appears, and you can actually trade against it. When you do, you obviously want to see like absorption at the lows, which is essentially like passive spot buying. And you can see that where price respects constantly the same exact price or around it. And you tend to see like taker selling as well slow. Because obviously, the more passive buying you have into like market selling, you typically get like a divergence. So the CVD will be like lower on like Binance spot, but like price is making equal lows or even like a higher low, and then you tend to get a bounce, like pretty strong bounce from that. And half that bounce is the short that essentially just closing shorts basically entire way. As well as like obviously the liquidity gets utilized by other firms that change that need to like clear their delta as well. So we're going to see like more and more moves like that, considering this is becoming more of a, I think, institutional market, probably like more controlled institutionally. And the important thing about today, I think, is it's different to the last two times. So we didn't see that like stupid amount of short interest just opening into the market degenerately, right? And then price bounces against that because they become exit liquidity. We've actually seen a pretty clean like grind law, as well as like it is being bidded into, but it's constantly getting sold into, right? Positioning wise, like longs just continue to close as well. We don't really see short interest picking up at all here. And like around 115K has been seen as like demand, right? And this is like extremely important. And if you remember that divergence I was talking about earlier, where you just see constant market selling, we can see with the price, it's grinding lower, right? You can see it in the Binance CVD that it just continues to grind lower price, right? And you can see it connect the high. It's just like market selling leading constantly into this passive bid liquidity. So now this is important because if we see price somewhat stagnate here and start to develop a kind of balance or some kind of value area, that's going to be really important because to explain this better, I will get my chart out actually. All right. Also, some key opens are pretty good for this. So this was, yeah, the monthly open, so August open. I've already played chicken with it twice, but obviously each time was just sold into aggressively by probably like an algo, like market selling, right? And we want to, yeah, probably from that candle, it's about the low, the first low. We will develop some kind of balance here. And essentially, this is pretty important. I think it'll probably like, assuming the market selling tapers, and we tend to like just kind of chop around, like bob around like this, right? Forming a balance with like a clear range high, range low, value area high, value area low, right? And like the point of control. Then usually what follows is price will like reject the point of control, and then it like either pushes the value area high or the low before it like resumes or initiates like a trend, right? That's essentially what I'm looking for, because that becomes very important for like the next move. Accepting lower as like in terms of like example, right below the value area low here would be a continuation to the downside, and that's where you look to target for like 112 to 110K, like roughly, which would essentially be like these highs, as well as the consolidation before the markup. So some kind of like sweep and reclaim would be probably the dip to buy. Actually, there'd be, I assume, decent volatility with it, Obviously, the higher the volatility, the more chances are we like wick, and that's where you get like massive liquidation movements across like all the exchanges. And that's for the downside. Now for the upside, right? With this value area high, we can see it all nicely go on the. I prefer the 1 day actually for this. So the high of the like markup candle, let's say, right, and the base of. Let's clear this because it looks a little messy. So yeah, we got the markup candle here. We have the initial little test, and then it consistently gets wicked into, right? As well as like this candle closed below, and now we're essentially establishing that balance we're talking about below key support. And on like a 4 hour, we essentially need to accept back above like 115 to 116K in order to then confirm that as like a dip, as well as like other market signals being a huge amount of absorption. So that would be, bid liquidity increases, bid liquidity, the bid depth would be pretty high increasingly. So, and essentially all attempts to like break price lower is like minimal because you have a much larger buyer that's absorbing it all, right? We haven't really seen that yet. We'll go back to heat maps. And the reason why we haven't seen that yet is with each like reaction into like this bid liquidity, the bounces are getting smaller. So essentially what I'm saying is it's like best to watch the market here, right? If it accelerates lower, the better trade would probably be buying the blood quite a bit lower, like 112, 110K. Maybe even as low as like 105K if we get like crazy volatility. And then secondly, if the market just decides to stagnate here and build a balance, then it would be trading the outcome of that balance, which is break a value higher. So that would be above 116K, or break a value lower than probably 114.
I have a question because I've seen that on Twitter. I haven't checked it yet. That was the highest ever monthly close on Bitcoin. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah, I mean, we can. All right, we will.
I think Foley's tweeted about that. Like no one pays attention to it because everyone is allocated into underperforming altcoins, including myself. But yeah, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we can create a volume profile for it.
Just like what you've shown in your morning post.
Mine.
Oh yeah, your morning post, because I believe that value is very much the key here, right? As you perfectly pointed out, like breaking that value could be indicative. And also you have shown the markup candle on lower time frames, but I think this applies to higher time frames as well. So once those impulse candles get filled, then it will usually fill at sooner or later. Is my expectation.
True. So this is the 1 month value. It's basically the same version that I tweeted, almost same. Mine was from around the actual balance of this move, right? Both have nice confluence, which is basically we're either breaking below the value area low, or we're testing it of the 1 month. On the 1 month, we're actually testing it, so that's the difference between mine, I would say. But we can also see, based on the body. So we'll just focus on the body. The wicks don't particularly matter right now. I mean, obviously, this wick says there's a shitload, like a shitload of liquidity above price. We can already see that very cleanly by just having a look at this. Like, that is a lot of supply, and it's on both per books, no matter where you look, basically. For like the cleanest Binance's book, in my opinion. Also something important. I forgot how to get the drawing tools, but essentially this block, here, this supply has been pulled from higher and essentially aggregated around where the start of the sell-off occurred. Right, so that is a direct underlying shift from a market pricing higher to then chasing the market lower. And that kind of like psychological consensus typically aligns with mentality of de-risking, right? Because they see risk on the horizon or change in trend, and that occurred with FOMC and the change from rate cuts to essentially being indecisive and having no plan whatsoever. What will change that, I think, is trade deals and very clean expectations when it comes to tariffs and like how that impacts the economy. If it ends up being like good growth, declining prices, then I think like Bitcoin will probably correlate with the US economy even more. So Bitcoin will likely go back to outperforming equities.
Right.
But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
go.
No, go ahead. Finish.
I was saying this basically just a ton of variables that still need to be solved in the month of August.
Right. So as for the correlation, what I just wanted to add here is, when you have shown the post FOMC, sell off, I think that, and also, the huge amount of shorts, that was like a correlation to equities, because there was like a huge dollar, DXY rally, mainly due to the comments on the tariff, uncertainty, right? And that clearly dragged down both ES and NQ as well as BTC. And then we have shown a nice. Actually, I traded that dip post FOMC because that was bought up like pretty fast. And then we got the monthly open, where as we went into today's open, as well as daily and monthly, there was just such a broad spread. It was like clear that no one wants to like sell as price went lower. So it was really interesting to watch real time. And also, as you have pointed out quite accurately, that bounces are lower and lower. So pretty different characteristics to previous dips below 115.
Yeah, indeed. And obviously, like all the boomers that trade off headlines are going to see this, which is like, Trump tariff blitz unleashes delayed shock to global economy. They're going to be like, oh shit, orange man bad. Sell stocks, essentially, right? There's still like a ton of jitter when it comes to the global economy and tariffs. Basically the very I mean, they say it's like a whole change in the global trade and who has the control, who has dominance over the markets, and it's like this kind of like wrestle off between the two largest economies or three largest economies in the world, which is the Europeans. So the European market, China and Asia, and America, essentially. They're all like kind of fighting it out for having, the trade dominance, essentially. And what that percentage is going to make up of the global economy, which makes them more dominant. XYZ. There's like a whole economic like fight or war that's kind of going on at the moment. Yeah, like it's very much tariff war. It's it's gonna be like very interesting. Don't assume this is the end of the story yet. In Trump regards, this is an ongoing reality show. Yeah, it's like increases on tariffs last minute. Many economists rush to beat the elevated rates, spurred a front loading of exports, aiding many shielding U.S. consumers from prices. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because we'll go to economic data from this week. What was it? Yeah, so the GDP growth rate, Q and Q, is like considerably better than expected. As well as like prices lower. That was also kind of expected, but it was better than expected, which is good. Prices all came down, sales went up. As well as consumer spending's back a little bit. Oh yeah, we have this today. This is either going to be like really important or nothing burger. I don't know. This will be interesting. Yeah, BTC is probably dropping. So on this push, we haven't seen it go lower. Yeah. That's good. I really want to see a balance develop, yeah, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm also watching like aggressively.
Yeah. I had a brief look at sector performance as well in this move. Basically since middle of the week. And like expectively, BIMs tend to be shorted quite aggressively and underperform, obviously, since it's like really, really high beta. It's like, you know, like carrying an L1, like, you know, Bitcoin, but like 1000x leverage almost. It's like, you know, if I was a firm, I would have been probably shorting MIMS. And then looking to get long on Bitcoin probably, which would mean BTC dominance picks back up a little bit. Yeah, it is a little bit. It's trying to, yeah, since the low, it's been picking up a little bit. For our alt bags, we want to see good trade deals. Powell needs to stop being kind of a little bitch, I think. Actually make a decision for once. I think in terms of like rate cuts, end of year, probably it'll get pushed towards like soonest September, October, given like good trade results this month, lower prices this month in September, steady employment probably as well. If employment like crumbles, that's a guaranteed rate cut from this point onwards. Yeah, DXY is up. That's a big move. Okay, this is pretty important actually. because around 100, and if like dollar maintains strength, I believe on like a 3-day time frame. So yeah, but like middle of next week, if the dollar's still strong, that would probably indicate the market moving to risk off for probably the first half of August. That would be like one of the signals. And then obviously SPX. That's pretty ugly engulfing candle, yeah. But I mean, it's pretty clean. Like this is what demand is, which is around 6,200 or so. What is your? That's oh, interesting. Yeah, your might actually be kind of a leading signal. Sometimes this happens. The last time Euro was a leading bullish signal for Bitcoin was 2023, actually.
You mean a signal to leave the market?
No. A signal to be like buyer, I believe. I haven't looked at this in a really long time. Weekly. Yeah. So we can basically see like here. So when the euro like became stronger, it actually it leads BTC's market. This is like one of the classic TradFi strategies. Oh, that's so interesting. Right, yeah. Okay, this makes sense. The euro did go down, essentially bets on stronger economy, like XYZ, the whole Trump trade, essentially, right? Then that closed. Ironically, both times BTC performed pretty well because it had strong correlation to H. That's awesome. And then obviously now it's correlated to the downside. So this is very important because if we get macro risk off, that'll be bad for euro, but good for US dollar and potentially treasuries. But like, you know, not great for BTC and Europe. Nice. That's actually some edge, like legit edge.
Why just can't Euro be strong and BTC could be strong? I would like that very much.
All right, then start mining. Convince your governments to.
I will create my own currency.
No, I mean if it's so easy. Like if Europe wants to be like the powerhouse and the keg of crypto, right? Pass and adopt, you know, crypto laws. I mean, we all know this is probably not going to happen. And then secondly, build a foundation that allows miners to have like massive operations in Europe, which obviously won't happen since like European power infrastructure is kind of ass.
Yeah. Life would be so beautiful if we broke that resistance.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I think everyone expects ETH to like massively rug. Obviously, it'd be such a sweet trade. Like, if we get that, I'm gonna buy the heck out of 3K. But I think everyone wants that. So, in a bullish market, we get like a tiny dip, like that, like 3.4. I also last stream I expected us to break 4K by now. Where is my spot pair? Let's have a look. All right. I mean, it's pretty damn obvious someone was quoting the market higher. Like when you get these bid walls that just protect price on the way out. Pretty nice quoting, actually, providing liquidity to the upside, so the market could actually try to auction higher. Looks like within the moment it was capped, though. Like, did someone definitely cap price there? As well as, like, they quoted as high as almost 4K. And then since then, it's pretty obvious when they, as well, the initial high, then they protect this price area because they usually short it. So you have this like sell wall above price and ask liquidity, and they've been doing it consistently on the way down. Yeah, as well as like since the higher there's been TWAP selling in the price, basically the same as BTC.
And a lot of participants probably waited for dips here to ride, and then like getting constantly quoting lower quotes, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if ETH remains super strong with a weak BTC. I think there's like 2 trades here on lower time frame, like reclaim of, I would say here like 3750-ish, which is like these lows here, right? Or we sweep deep, so below like 3.5. TWAP selling. This is arguably tradable though. Each time the bid depth is like decent, like above probably like 30 mil, we tend to bounce. I think the same applies for BTC as well. So with the 5% depth, it's like pretty reliable. I mean, that's a plus EV system, you know, to trade when bid depth on 5% gets skewed to the positive side. But it's super interesting, by the way, or like a good confluence.
Yeah, so someone's constantly buying this because the bid depth has been maintained since the sell-off, and it has had kind of a pretty little impact. I mean, that's only like not even that much. It's not even $100 difference. Yeah, interesting. How is Sol? Okay, it's a nasty rejection of 200 and below 180. That I don't know.
We can't see. We can't see the Sol chart.
Ah, thanks. I forgot about that. Yeah. So this is important. It's like previous high. This, in my opinion, is rejection, as well as it got sold into on the way down. Did not hold this, you know, previous support and resistance, right? Just went straight through it with the market de-risking. Yeah, if the market goes further, then obviously we probably trade around like 140s, 150. Otherwise, like the reclaim of 180. Okay, so like another rejection, yeah. Oh, not really, just went up there, value didn't hold. I mean, this chart doesn't look too bad. It kind of, like, just looking at this chart, if I was just trading this, I would buy like the next decent dip, I think.
It's a pretty ugly
way-
candle on the daily, right?
Yeah.
For us.
Dude, on aspect, yeah, it's pretty nasty. But wait, what's this drawdown on SPX? Say like, I believe like somewhere between 3 and 5% is like a considerable pullback based on the SPX. At least within like uptrends. This would have been like very minimal. Yeah, like 3%. That's probably what we're looking at. Just pullback. And then higher into NDU with cuts. Trade deals, all like the bullish nice news.
I mean, August can really end up like chopping in this zone, I think, and like FOMC wouldn't be surprised to act as like a pivot, right? Or just a local.
Yeah, it tends to.
Yeah, it tends to. Yeah, correct. By the way, if you would please go back to BTC's 4-hour chart, that's with like the July volume profile, as well as if you add your 4-hour 200 EMA, that's a nice area.
Yeah,
and I think we have closed above that, right? Or trying to close above that, or on a 4-hour, yeah, which would be nice for now. But we need to see how the rest of the week plays out. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
That looks pretty compelling. Yeah, nice. With that,
true.
RSI's reset, as well as like this is reset. So with that, we'd have to see like a strong close and then a strong move, probably off the open, which is 15 minutes. It's like, let's see.
1 hour 45 minutes, is it?
Yeah, 1 hour 45 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, when I usually do these kind of trades, I tend to look into order flow stuff really.
It's 100%. You might need to refresh. Yeah,
there we go. All right, so like, how do I get the drawing tools on this again?
I don't know. It's on mine as like usually by default. Let me check for you.
Yeah, I do not remember. Is it this? Yeah, found it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do this. It's like this. High matters, basically. And then this low. This is how I tend to trade it. So essentially, acceptance below the low again would mean we run all this liquidity and probably lower. Then yeah, obviously accepting above here means we target this liquidity. It's like 116, like roughly. And then in terms of like signals, we have a divergence setting up here. Which is essentially 3 consecutive lower lows. Right? We have, on the second push, we had a push lower that closed back about, that led to a bounce, right? Sell back, we tested the initial low, and we're bouncing now. So that essentially confirms that there is passive buyer absorbing at these lows. Now, essentially, the next part, which is we accept above this high, right? Then what you tend to see is a little push in like the CBD.
Not that much, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that brush look. And yeah, kind of annoying. Yeah, so we tend to see like a little jump like that, which tends to be in like candle terms. We see like kind of a jump like that.
And like coupling this with the volume profile for this small consolidation since basically since daily open would be also like a nice reference to look at, because it held on low time frames, like on 1 minute, the value area high of value area low of today, and now trying to flip the POC. So yeah, that's like early signs of like something trying to bounce here.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you like look at the funding, which got like retardedly low as we went into the monthly close, so there was like a lot
of longs got margin called a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas it's currently like a little positive, but it's pretty low. I would say if it was like really negative, I mean, that's a decent amount negative actually, with all that long buckling. That's mainly it. And then yeah, these are like mostly longs buying this dip. This is shorts closing. And we can see, you know, since long's buying it, we've normalized essentially back to slightly positive. So, I mean, like positioning wise, the market is definitely long bias here. All we need to see for that like bounce to carry out, accepting above here, and then follow through from market buying on spot.
Potentially buy burgers, right? If we see.
We tend to front run the burgers actually.
Yep. Yeah, true.
So this move tends to happen going into US Open, and then it usually reverts lower. Unless equities is actually like strong, then continuation.
Yeah, the other thing I was looking at this week is like the lower highs on 4 hour, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, not super clean, but you could see that, you know, the weekly open was like the high of the week, basically. So it was constant 119 was constantly sold into. Yeah, correct. Yeah, those. And
Yeah.
But if you zoom out, if you look at this, it's like also like a downward sloping channel. If you I don't know, yeah, basically. But I don't know, it's really I don't like these type of patterns. Just my eye see this by reflex. So yeah, that one. Yeah,
it does look like one. But I mean, these I tend not to follow this because it's kind of like meme. I mean, it works. Ironically, these things only work on like shit coins. I'm not sure if it works on BTC as much.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, if it does, then tell me.
Yeah, no, that's why I said that I don't really prefer these, especially on Bitcoin. Yeah, true.
got to check the cult coin. This is usually the deciding factor of the market. If cult coin is strong, the market's good. If it's weak, then the market's cooked. Yeah, it looks like let's turn that off. Initial high. That was the breakdown part. Pretty important. Market bought it like several times initially. Bounce failed. Migrating value lower. Obviously, this will head lower with BTC going lower, kind of thing. I mean, chart-wise, it looks like a dip you'd buy though. That's funny. I have basically the same consensus as like what 3 weeks ago, which is like sit on hands till market trades out a value that you like and then buy it. And then essentially with like next markup in the market, you just sell it. Come on. We know the algo wants to bite. Someone just needs to bait the algo to bite.
Now I'm checking the. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Michael.
No. Go ahead. Nothing.
I was just going to say I'm now looking at the limit order count data on high block, and it's ridiculously high. To the positive side on the monthly open dip below 140. So actually it's below 115. Yeah, so that there was like a heavy limit buying there on that wick, which is expected. Just always paying attention to the extremes or limit order count.
Oh, interesting.
No. Up. Oh.
By the way, Skew, in terms of monthly close, I'm not sure what are your institutional experiences, but I was also chatting to a couple of my other trader friends. It's like it's always a time when big entities like
there's always rebalancing.
Rebalancing, clean up books, realizing profits, and so on. So that's why I need to see whether the actual value is breaking or was it just like an over exaggeration of end of month rebalancing is what I'm also looking at.
Yeah. I just have this open, so I might as well just use it. So this is the 1 month performance, right, of the SPX. And we can see basically like most of the money was stacked in big tech, like obviously, right? GE, RTX. So it's like the war trade as well. They did like quite good. We'll have a look at big tech. Like, if there's going to be any rebalancing, it's going to be Nvidia. Yeah, I mean that 1 monthly chart is nuts.
That's pretty strong, to say the least.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, I mean this is just like classic CTA buying, which leads to like a okay, so that was already tested that basically. Next would probably be this candle. Yeah, I mean it does look like dip buying season. Like temporary top because of narrative, right? Come back down low, go back up higher, trend. Obviously confirmation as well there. Obviously, losing that would be a change in trend in my opinion. Because it'd be like, that the next we will do is Microsoft. My guess is we're going to see the same thing. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, it had like, yeah, earnings surprise. So it gapped up and then that got sold. Meaning this may be the one that gets bought up more aggressively. That skews things a little bit. Oracle. It's a pretty gross close. But again, yeah, it looks like the dip to buy. As well as like I mean, all the 1 month chart they all look good. Filecoin is all the way back down to yearly open. Looks like
I was liquidated on Fartcoin this morning.
oh, that's what bro.
Yeah, I
That is
opened
curse coin.
around like 1.1. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, with the market that was like dipping low.
Yeah, I was hoping for a quick scalp and went to sleep. And when I woke up, it was too late to do anything with that position. So I was like, okay, I'm either getting liquidated or we bounce. And the first scenario won.
Yeah, right. I think buy Filecoin here. Like Filecoin here is pretty good for a bounce. What it takes for a bounce will be a strong Bitcoin.
What we talked about we on Digeny apps with my friends is Fartcoin is currently the most mid-curve token in the whole space. Like basically everyone is buying Fartcoin when we think the market is going to bounce because of the historical
High beta correlation.
yeah, exactly. And the problem is most of the people do that on leverage. So obviously market is hunting them down. Yeah. Yeah, hype looks us.
Yeah, we tried to push up. It was sold below 44 is not great. As well as like below these highs as it is now, it'll develop a little like value here probably, but buying like 35, 33 might be the play again, like a bounce.
Yeah, I have my whole exposure on spot. I haven't sold since we talked last time.
I mean, the real risk is below like 32, because then we would look at a pullback probably into like 23 or 20. If we ever get to like 20 again, that'd probably be a good buy. But more likely, lowest being like, I don't know, 35.
I think also the weakness of hype in the past week is because of
that's sentiment related, right?
No, that they had a bug twice where you couldn't log in even if you had opened positions, so you couldn't manage your trades.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's mostly like sentiment related. People dumping it because like the company's making mistakes or something like that.
Yeah, I know a whale of hype who cut 10% of his exposure purely because of that.
Ouch.
Yeah, but also hype might be same story with Fartcoin. Hype also might be a mid.
It is definitely mid curve. It is. Yeah.
It isn't.
No, it is. It's definitely a mid curve. It's like the mid curve DeFi. It's like Aave when like Aave was mid curve, which was like 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. But the positive side of things with this mid curve is at least they are buying the tokens, which kind of supports the price.
True.
Yeah, the Ava long from last week didn't end up well. That was my second liquidation.
Yeah, the rejection of Yuli open, and we failed to actually accept higher above like 300. Yeah, I mean like around here is really where you want to see like Aave get bought up. Because if not, like look at higher time frame. This is like a lower high. And that was a lower low. It's like, you know, typically when this happens and it's like bearish, you tend to get a move somewhere near. What about Dot? Dot was like what, the most mid curve trade of 2021? Yeah, this as well. Got sold.
Yeah, I remember Dot trading above $40.
Yeah. This isn't even down that much. ETH is definitely what the market's chasing at the moment. That's very, very clear.
I'm not sure if they are on the right side though.
I mean, depends. If we see like huge change, like tonality change off some like bullish Trump news, then yeah, ETH could gig ascend. It's quite funny how the market is. It's very hyper gamble. What are yields at? I saw a post recently about the head of treasuries at the moment, Besant, which is copying what was it, Yellen's like basically strategy of like, what was it, issuing short end treasuries to like somehow facilitate capping the long end yields, so like the 30-year and 10-year. Basically like bullshit economics.
What about Ina?
Oh, ENA?
Yeah.
Short here probably. I would assume this is like the balance range. Wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah. Just balance. That's high, low high plus like pretty strong volume led rejection. Yeah, if these lows get swept, that looks pretty nice for scalp. Again, it's only going to bounce if BTC is strong here.
Got it.
Yeah, I think like looking at everything, it's again just the market is in the hands of Bitcoin per usual. Bitcoin, boomers, and equities. Do we flush most leverage in the market? That's a pretty good question. Yeah, look, we're like hardly even getting any take a bit there. Shorts closing.
By the way, I was
That's
also looking at BNB this week, like a quite big
Yeah.
move, all-time high, then such a sharp rejection. I haven't looked at it ever since. It was also a nice one this week.
Yeah. That was one of the trades I actually took from like previous stream.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to go back, but yeah, my target was like 850 actually, which is that's crazy. I mean, yeah, it looks like a buy the dip probably. Yeah, a bit low. I like this area. Yeah, so a dip in here would be really nice. That would come with BTC trading quite a lot lower. Wait, is there a BNB ETH pair? Oh, there is. Huh. What do you think the play would be? Betting on BNB or ETH? Because obviously ETH breaking 4K would also drag BNB up. But ETH hypothetically should outperform BNB.
Can we check the relative chart of them to maybe get some more idea?
What, like compare this against both of them?
Either or maybe BNB ETH or something like this, or vice versa. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't really do that because it already compares it to. The way I trade this is just off like raw numbers typically. 4K, right? ETH breaking 4K, that should bring like a huge move. That'll occur under certain circumstances, you know, like bullish narrative, equities, BTC, everything goes up, ETH goes up. Pretty straightforward.
I mean,
the outperformance part is like always like difficult to nail in terms of token versus token, rather than token versus USD.
I mean, Skew, I don't think we are on the same page with that, but the narrative is extremely bullish. Like White House released a 168 pages document about crypto, which screams bullish, which is extremely good news. So I don't think there is a lack of.
Wait, what is the report? Because I could dump that into like AI, get it to analyze.
I mean, I'm about to read the whole thing tonight as a Friday evening treatment.
Wait, can you link me that?
I can link it to you.
Yeah, I was trying to get an extract by ChatGPT out of it, but I was too busy with other stuff, so I'm also about to read it.
Yeah, I'll
basically White House will or SEC will build their own DeFi project, and for example, Chainlink will be the oracle Yeah,
That makes sense
airdrops.
because of Chainlink's ties to the presidency already.
Yeah, airdrops are 100% legal. Proof of stake is legal. Uh, uh, DePIN and NFT rewards are legal. So it's quite good. I'll send it in our
That's
group.
bullish for the space. I mean, the market should be reacting positively to that.
Exactly. So that's what I
Yes.
don't understand. Maybe I am a mid curve here, but I haven't read everything. But at the fund that I work for, we've been talking about that, and a guy, one of us has already read the whole thing, and these are highlights from him. I'm yet to read it, but as I said, I aim to do that tonight and tomorrow, because 168 pages, I don't think I will be able to do it in like one evening. I read very slow. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it's the narrative is here. All we need is feels like a rates cut, so people have money again and ape stuff. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I
one
mean, okay, so from like
one
the perspective of boomers and like the US Treasury and the Fed and like unanimously the boomers, right? Statistically as well, they are the largest holders of wealth globally, right? They're all very defensive of cash at the moment because they have no idea what the impact of like current BS is having on the global economy and the US economy. So they don't know what to do. The asset managers as well don't know what to do. Right. So this essentially causes a situation in the market where everyone's strapped with cash, but no one knows what to do with the cash. It's like August could honestly just be like a whole lot of nothing and shop. Or even like August to October. I'll have to like actually look into this and strategize it, and then depending on the results that I get with that, I can share that. Like if it's actually useful. I really want to compare 2023 as well to current, because there was a lot of there's a lot of similarities to 2023 and 2025, especially like currently, where the market's in kind of like a period of nothingness, isn't it? You know, any strong narrative can send the market like flying or free falling. And the last time that was like 2023, and the one big catalyst was obviously the banking situation, and then they essentially put a floor on that, and then that's stimulated enough for risk assets as well to go up. Well, no, it's 15 minutes.
Is there any data? Okay, yeah. And if
Yeah, I mean this will be a mover as usual. It's usually like what 1%.
Such a big week we have today in terms of Econ data and events, right?
Yeah. Also, the fact asset managers boom is like most people actually don't know what to do this time. The only like actual impact we're seeing on the market is rebalancing, probably people taking profits, and like the usual, which is Bitcoin being the global like liquidity instrument, which is essentially where if anyone wants to front run a move, they always jump into Bitcoin to do it first.
I'm pretty sure we can get a nice setup here today. So I did not plan to overtrade today, but I'm probably changing my mind here.
I do like this close.
I mean, it's an ugly bottoming, but
we filled this as well.
yeah.
Someone's trying to defend it passively.
Yeah, and this is right now. It's the 15 minute 50 EMA, which tends to be like again where all goes getting triggered.
Yeah. I'll probably
What's
just
nice
stick to
though-
my rules of like, I'm not going
Yeah.
to touch this until I see a reason to take along either below here, right, so the current day lows, or more probably is chase above like 116K.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. Although the daily VWAP is around the PO, today's POC or value area POC, which is also nice confluence.
What price is that?
Oh, I can tell you, it's like 1,500, like 15K.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, below price, not bad.
Yeah.
Wait, no, 1 minute. Oh, there we go. Yeah, someone's just selling into price, like trying to cap it.
It's like a pretty decent ask, isn't it? Or oh yeah,
100 plus. I mean, they quote that, but they actually don't like they'll quote it, but they don't typically want it filled because what they do is they just like pull it for like a nanosecond.
Yep.
And then spam a bunch of orders into price. Yeah, very much institutional. Yeah, a lot of things took quite a beating already. Yeah, I mean, this is such a funny situation. BTC literally decides everything for the market again. What decides BTC? Macro. Another day of being a reactor. It'd be a lot more fun if Orange Man stops messing with shit. Hey, 400 mil got liquidated.
Market-wise?
Yeah, apparently. I just saw a tweet about it. It was from like 11 hours ago.
I tend to think market was maybe slightly overexposed to the upside, to the long side. I feel like I don't know. It's probably many.
In equities, yeah. In memes and like shitcoins and stuff, definitely. But like BTC, I don't know. I haven't seen BTC's exposure like this light in ages.
Yeah. Also, like the repricing of cuts for the remainder of the year. That's going to be like, I think, a nice narrative for September, October, for for post summer market period. I think, because comparing to the beginning of the year, like significant change of expectations around cuts, right? Which market needs to adapt to.
I use this sometimes for futures data. Yeah, open interest. I guess that's coin margin, aggregated open interest, stable coin margin contracts. We'll take out these. Whoever data is fucking noisy. Okay. Quarterly, bi-weekly, weekly, out. Huh. There's actually a little bit of edge here. Most of the positioning on coin margin contracts is obviously hedging, because that makes sense. It's the best hedge on coin margin. I mean, yeah, like since the squeeze, or even rather like the actual all-time high. Well, we literally, like, in open interest hasn't moved aggregately since the all-time high. We're lower. Slow here. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen like a crazy washout or anything like that. Maybe like a lot lower is where it happens. If that happens, it tends to be like a buy everything opportunity, especially in like a high time frame uptrend, which is what we're in. Yeah, and then I think, what was it? Dominance. This. Yeah, so we didn't get the same frothiness at all compared to December last year. Oh, it's got to 36%. It's got to 44%. ETH still leads volume. Wow, interesting. All right. 3 minutes till data, and then after that, or can we wrap it up? Because this data will likely lead day's trend, probably.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see.
What are the predictions? Let's see. Manufacturing tends to be pretty negative. Okay, so private, they want higher employment. That'd be pretty good. Government, significantly lower. Same participation rate. I don't think there'll be much change in the earnings. Yeah, I mean, like basically just the top two. There's also ISM manufacturing. Calls for improvement. Like these are pretty good. If I were to guess, this data, like, if it's good labor data, it actually should be good for the economy. But the market may react to the downside initially because obviously better payroll data and better employment rate data means no cuts until like end of year. Or at least that's the narrative the market's running. One minute.
Yeah, I can already see some algo movement.
I mean, algos do seem to be a bit here, so.
Yeah, they're doing their stuff. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's worse than
Yeah.
consensus. Okay, that's good. The market will actually rally off that. Flat employment, that's fine. Fine. Better earnings, that's good. Fine. Fine. Damn. Negative government role. Okay, that's probably the whole cuts thing that they're doing. Manufacturing, a lot worse, kind of expected. Oh wow, massive jump. Under expecting though. Interesting. Yeah, that's basically what happened earlier in the week with like jolts. So they expected higher openings, they got lower. They expected higher quits. There was a decent amount of quits, but not high enough. So like the market's just stuck in this tandem at the moment, like a seesaw. Yeah, that was loud, bro. Yeah, Michael, are you in the city center?
But then me?
You in the city center?
No, I have my window open in my living room, and the door are open to my bedroom. So, yeah.
Sorry.
I moved into a new apartment this week on Monday.
Oh yeah. Is it
Oh,
nice?
congrats.
I mean, I rent it and the neighborhood is quite sketchy, but I enjoy it.
I mean, yeah. So we got the initial bounce. Yeah, I'll go bid that.
Your monthly open from trend slightly.
Yeah, these are longs. Yeah, algos are bidding. I want to see this kind of like fight out a little bit. Like a little bit of this, a little bit of chop would be nice. Yeah, trying to push it actually. It's decent volume on this candle. Like 259 BTC. Climbing. Depth jumped quite a bit. Yeah, so someone's like constantly. You can see these little fluctuations where someone's trying to cap price before open. It'd be pretty funny to see them get completely ran over, where price just like gaps up.
Such a nice move. I mean, like,
Big
quick
bounces
dump
on
into
memes.
the daily revamp and then catapult, yeah.
Yeah, like monthly open on memes is going to be really important. I actually quite like Pop Guy. Yeah. It's just well respected, makes it super clean. So obviously, like a claim above, and then trend would be like the long you take. So ES will be delayed a little bit. But I think ES's performance in the first hour is actually going to be important today. What was the DXY's reaction? Or like nuke? Yeah, holy shit. The whole move just got like evaporated.
Damn.
No way.
Holy
That's
shit,
nice.
that's massive. That's huge.
What the hell?
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure the market is calling the Fed's bluff right now of no cuts. If the yields should have nuked, like especially the 2-year. If the 2-year's nuked too, the market's basically calling the Fed retarded. Yeah, the market's calling the Fed retarded, pretty much. Yeah, look at that. That's fucking nuts. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm gonna show you this.
I think that's story of the day. Yeah, right. So something always happens in our streams. Something like surprising.
I kind of like it.
That looks, yeah. Damn. Now that's going to be an interesting session today. So need to change.
Damn,
my
I'm
schedule.
so glad I sold some USD yesterday. So lucky. Incredible.
We still need a for BTC though. We still need that sweet 116k. And obviously the curse of the 1 hour of boomers. Yeah, that's a huge move in yields, by the way. That's massive.
And it's keep going.
Well, yeah, 100 basis point move, basically. That's
Wow.
fucking crazy.
Massive.
Yeah, look at gold. You guys, do you guys think we're gonna see another rant from Trump? Yeah, look, yeah, show this.
Gold up, USD down.
Missing huge downward revision in last month's line. Looks like, yep. Revised down 14.
Oh yeah, that's strange.
That's big. Interesting. If it's actually revised down that much, it was it would have still been a miss from survey. All right, back to this. It'd be nice if we get a gold correlation, because if gold marches higher, it could pull BTC higher as well. All right, we're like, what, about a little under an hour till open, I think.
I mean, this could end up in a massive squeeze as well. If it tends to be, if fuel gets on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Nvidia's still down a lot pre-market. Like, if you're talking about a short squeeze, then the pre-market should be green around a little before open, if that's like an actual squeeze. But
yeah, or yeah, we'll see intraday too. Yeah.
so far, it's been sold on this. I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna watch this. Like, Euro USD is usually the pair you watch if there's going to be like a huge squeeze of like over leveraged short positioning.
And then BTC up.
Yeah, pretty much. Coin is down like 10%. Yeah, that would be back at the moment. That's coin. I would watch coin too a little bit. That might be trading that. The VIX pre-market is up a lot. That typically happens when positioning gets like massively either skewed or like tons of positions have to be cleared very quickly. That's probably what's happening. It's the latter. But yeah, I mean, time to wrap up the stream, I think.
Yeah, almost 2 hours, but it was a good one and really good data in the end. Hopefully, it will, and the rally will stay with us, and we close above the 116 level that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely some more data here. And
positioning was, is it still going low?
Yeah, it's still going down. Yeah, like nuking.
Yeah. Holy fuck! What the hell, bro? Yeah, it's like well, it was like here before.
Damn.
Yeah, someone's definitely being squeezed. This is not normal. Yeah, the entire move's evaporated now.
Yeah, we already swept the rate. You know, the post press conference levels.
Yeah.
I love this handle, man.
Dude, this yield feels like nuts. This is the kind of thing that causes like boomers to have high blood pressure, dude.
That's what I was going to say. I think some traders at their desk are gonna get a heart attack when they look at the charts when they just step in or already got to them.
Bro, it basically looks like pump fund chart, like some shitters on pump fund with 10k market cap. That's exactly this kind of candle.
Yeah, not often you see this. BTC trying to flip monthly open, yeah.
Nah.
Please, I'm begging you.
Dude, I just want like 116k reclaim that. I am happy.
You want, I mean, 115.90, not 900, or yeah, basically 116 is the daily initial balance high, slightly above the monthly open. That would be like, I mean, yeah, send it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll still like that high. That's cool. Nice confluence. I have one more look at this. Some shorts bailed a little bit, mostly just the initial longs closing. Nothing big yet in terms of positioning. I don't know, check back in probably like an hour or two. Make like another post, probably.
Yeah, looking forward to see. We'll keep an eye.
Your sleep schedule is so fucked up. If you're going to post anything in 2 hours, I'll be like, damn, what's wrong with this guy?
I have like a nickname in my family, which is like Dracula, because I'm always awake at night or like some like really scuffed hours.
Dude,
so funny.
So random.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Good stream though. It was fun.
Yeah, it was
a good one.
And I mean, DXY continues to nuke still. It's just,
it's like 200 base points already, or 150.
Let me see.
Yeah, that post is that means so funny.
But than me?
That post you sent me is hilarious.
Oh, that the one I sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Did you see his next one? The generational con artist has occupied the BLS and made. Yeah. Yeah, dude. He tweets some funny shit.
Yeah, I will follow. No, I'm already following him. Good. It's worth it.
Wait, what the fuck?
Someone market long
Someone just
something?
aped 200 PTC.
Yeah.
My man.
Nice.
My man.
What a DJ.
Someone just didn't care.
I mean, I always appreciate when someone doesn't have any risk management. I mean, you might probably will end up blowing up your account, but there's always a slight respect from my side. Like casual 200 BTC market order. I mean, you need to put some respect on that name for sure.
Agree.
Wait, it's probably the same dude because they did it here, closed out, and then did
The same amount, like basically.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Someone is being a little bit indecisive.
Well, that's not James Wynn. He doesn't have enough collateral to do 200 BTC anymore.
Oh yeah. Let me check Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is pretty quiet actually. It's Binance perps at the moment. Dragging.
Yeah, the buying is algo driven. It's takers. Yeah, you know what we could do, like long term, if my schedule's like very scuffed, we could do like New York NA session trading as well, or actually like trade on stream.
That would be nice. I'm all over it.
I'm always down for a stream.
Yeah, I'll also post some. Yeah, I mean, I can like multitask and like post my analysis while I'm like executing. So that should be.
Bro, please, like you're all more than welcome.
Nice.
But I mean, into Cantina probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably do it though. Huh? ETH is actually underperforming. No. All right. What about the dude closes the clip all at once?
Nah.
That would be hilarious.
If it goes a little lower, they probably will.
Yeah, Walter Bloomberg just traders resume fully pricing into Fed rate cuts by the end of 2025. Yeah, calling the bluff.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after the rewise, immediately, Twitter is going all over. I'm just checking my notifications right now.
What I haven't checked US oil. Yeah, US oil nuked as well. TLT's up a lot.
Trump reiterates call for lower Fed rate. Obviously, been expecting this tweet.
Yeah. I reckon they're gonna take this as the case somehow to push for a political cut.
Yeah, 100%.
If it's a political cut, then I wonder how that affects market. Probably limit up or something. Because like equities would just become kind of like a gamble market.
Yeah, on perps I can already see some passive chasers.
Yeah. Even on AUD pair, there's some passive chasing as well. Yeah, the market did not expect this.
Yeah, that's definitely exact. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Very good. Very good. I like this. Yeah, and I mean, checking now the books on perps, especially compared to last night before the monthly close. Yeah, the spread is back, and yeah, it's very interesting how new quotes just piled in.
Nice. Damn, we should have called the stream. It's so over. Wine. We're so back.
No, bro. Like, it's always top signal. But I just opened a chat with my friends and they are like, we might be back. So yeah, that worries me a bit.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh yeah, I'm checking this too.
Yeah, this is massive because the market from here onwards is going to completely ignore job reports, I think. Which essentially means the Fed may have just lost its credibility completely, and that's huge. That's when it becomes political. Wait, what's poly market? We need to go to poly market.
Or Kalshi, yeah.
Fed cuts. Yeah, they're calling for cuts now. After this move, 25
Wow.
basis point cut, no change. I would probably buy this, to be honest. That would be like a legit gamble, but I mean, if it plays out, it'd be huge. Yeah, this is what the move was. It's even higher than it was the start of July.
What was it yesterday? Or maybe at the beginning of the week?
25. What date would that have been? 28th. like here, like 56%.
Yeah.
It's 73% now. And that's just because the no change capitulated into increasing cuts. So I'm interpreting this as a political cut in September or October latest. Wow. Wow, I didn't expect that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stream brought the unexpected.
Tough morning for Mr. Powell.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well just resign at this point, to be honest.
Writing his resignation letter with ChatGPT, probably at the moment.
Yeah. Bottom line, the last line will be ask ChatGPT. That would be hilarious. You know what I mean? When people like forget to delete the part about ChatGPT and send it in an email. Yeah. All right, should we wrap it up here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys, and talk to you next week. 2 hours. Bye bye.
Sure.
Was a good one. Take care, guys.